Hello everyone. So this is the demo of our project. I am Davin Miller and my group mates are Jeffrey French and Olufisola Oladipo. Our project is a sentiment analyzer that will display presidential quotes dating from around 1960 to 2020. The idea is that a user can input a topic and our program will return quotes from presidents on this topic sorted by the sentiment. So whether that quote is positive or negative. So for example, we could input something like global warming and our program returns positive and negative quotes from these presidents. So we kind of sort them by most positive and most negative. So the first results here are positive results. So we see that Barack Obama in 2009 said this quote, that our program rated it a 0.98, which is a very positive score. And down here, we see negative results where in 1996, Bill Clinton said this quote, and it gave a very negative score of negative 0.98. So these are very disparaging scores for these ratings, sentiments. And then we can also increase the number of results per sentiment. And if we want to look at specific presidents who have these quotes, we can do that as well by filtering out here, select presidents. So that's a unique feature on this left side panel. Another thing we can do on this filter tab is filter by positive statements or negative statements, and also filter the time range at which these quotes take place. So there's a bit to choose from here, and our program works by first getting the input from the user and then kind of grabbing similar words to that word that they inputted, and then searching for those select words in the corpus of all our document space. So our document space basically consists of clean data that we gathered from Kaggle. So we pulled two sources here. One is presidential speeches, and then one is presidential debates. We sorted through, combined the data sets, and then cleaned all of them. So we're able to easily parse these documents for select topics that we're looking for. So basically, we're able to go through and extract phrases via the search word through stuff like NLTK packages. So we want it to be kind of like a thesaurus where we can input a word and it'll give us similar words. However, we found that a direct thesaurus wouldn't work very well. For example, if we input something like economy, what we really want is the results to be something like economics or recession or some of those keywords like that. But instead, from a regular thesaurus and some of the other models we tried, we got stuff like mathematics or physics, just stuff that doesn't exactly relate to when you're looking at a presidential speech, right? So instead, what we did was we found this really useful model by Google, and I think it's a glove model, but it basically is a word2vec model that uses Google News data. So they pulled a bunch of news outlets and their articles, and then we're able to make a vectors model based off of this. And so what we can do is load that model and then create functions to access this model. And what we can do is call this function we wrote, get similar words. So as we could see, when we input economy, we get stuff that we want, such as economic recession, economic downturn, slowdown, stuff like that. And even something like we can do 2 words or 3 words, right? As many phrases as we want. We get something like, so if we did global warming, we could get stuff like climate change, greenhouse gases, carbon emissions. And this is really good for our program because it will use all of these search words and search our whole document space for these words and return the results. So it's actually very useful for that. Lastly, I want to talk about some of the stuff we're going to work on in the future. So we're not completely done with this project just yet. I think I want to add a few more filters, be able to clean up this presidential filter section, I think, because it's a little bit messy in terms of trying to filter through all the presidents here. And then also make the results page look a bit prettier. We also need to work on capitalizing certain text because we had cleaned the data, right? So everything is in lowercase when we parse the data. And when we return that data, it's still in lowercase. So we have to find a way to return the proper initial phrase here. Because then stuff like here where the I is not capitalized, it looks a little unprofessional. And to make this whole entire result looks prettier. So that's what we're going to be working on before we submit. Other than that, this is our project. Thanks for watching and listening.